Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Rundown. My name is Howard Grant, and it is so wonderful to have you with us. Tonight, first night of July, the 7th month of the year, getting ourselves prepared over the next few days to be able to celebrate 53 years of independence. A great deal of things have been happening over the past few days, and I know you want to dive into that live. And in full effect, we're going to be diving into those conversations. Joining me tonight in that particular fort is none other than political analyst and talk show host, pundit, and all of that in one entrepreneur is none other than Ian Munnings. He's here with us, being able to jam this evening. And also joining us to dive into those particular conversations, he too, political analyst, talk show host, entrepreneur, bee extractor extraordinaire. What do you call it? A bee savant? I don't know what he is. All those particular things. None other than Garth Maynard Roseborough being able to jam with us. My brothers, good evening.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure.
Good evening, Howard Grant.
It's very good to have you. I see all of us dressed down this evening because guess what? It is hot.
It's very hot. It's very hot.
And also we're in the thick of summer and being able to dive into those particular things. And so we're going to be doing these things as we continue to be able to commemorate. We got to get our Bahamian colors together, and we're hoping that you're patriotic also and being able to wear those. You like to row with the other people's patriotism, right? You like to round with the people patriotism, so we hope that you show your patriotism and being able to get your Bahamian colors going. 53 years, gentlemen. We're celebrating that. We're looking forward to a great deal of things. Talk to me about your thoughts as we continue to be able to prepare ourselves for that.
53 years of independence, and we're looking at the Bahamas as the young persons progress, and they're looking into the future in terms of things that they expect to happen, and they want it to happen quickly, Garth. They want this to happen quickly, because we heard about the stories during the late Sir Lyndon Oscar Pendleton time. We weren't there, and most of us, some of us was there, but most of us weren't. So there were some struggles that went along with all of that, you know what I mean, and some hardships and some things that had to take place. That was the connecting, the bridge that took us where we are at right now. And so the younger persons are saying we appreciate all of that, but we want a space that is ours.
Yeah, we've just come through a celebratory period where we have seen a whole lot of gathering, a whole lot of partying, fireworks, unlimited chicken and pork on the grill and beers. And so Howard Grant, it's amazing.
Are you talking about election day?
He's talking about election day.
What I'm talking about. I'm trying to show you, we have a slight lull where we started to talk about the budget and, of course, other matters. And now we're going right back into celebration again. Here's where we need not make the mistake. I think Leslie Miller Price is the Minister for Culture. If you do recall that when they had their initial political gatherings over there in the Seabreeze area, the spectacular presentation that they had for that. And she has now made a name for herself of just performing spectacularly when it comes to events. We do anticipate the same thing will happen very shortly for our independence celebration. But we cannot miss the whole notion that the young people and the people of the Bahamas alike are having high expectations to have something else to celebrate. People are looking for jobs, people are looking for security, people are looking for better health conditions. It goes on, but we have to now begin to get immersed into the Bahamian people's real needs and begin true progress.
So you're saying we need to start to get the work done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, as we're looking at this and looking at this particular concept and whatnot, finding ourselves, I believe, like you said about Leslie Miller Price in a particular capacity, the Honorable Minister, I believe that she'll be able to show a good showing. She's done excellent. She started from 49ing.
Listen,
Where was the first one she did?
I think it was it was the 50th. I think it was the 50th.
The 50th was a big one, yeah.
The 50th was a big one. The 50th was a big one, right.
It was a big one that she...
I think we had the drones and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was spectacular. I haven't seen anything like that before. Yeah. She grew up in this political arena. She's grew up in that atmosphere, I think. So her putting on what she does, she does her best in her space. And culture, I think, is a great space for her to be put.
I thought it was a good choice that they made.
I think it was a wonderful choice for them to put it up.
She, unlike a great deal of the others who would have been chosen before the country knew what their capabilities were, she has been able to prove to us beforehand what the expectation should be if she's given an opportunity. Now that she's nestled in that kind of a position, I expect her to perform and show up and show out in those particular areas. So the 53rd should be excellent, and you know she has another 5 more if this is what she's going to be doing. And so as we're leading up to the 60, I expect a lot of things to be able to come out of her ministry and out of those particular areas. But there is much to be able to celebrate throughout the country. There is a great deal of gratitude that we should continue to be able to talk about, this kind of a posture that we have in the country. I think we're very casual with these particular things. I believe, if I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, I think a lot of us are now being able to recognize and come to grips with reality about the fragile nature of life after we would have lost about 6 or maybe 7 by now persons
traffic fatalities
past week and some to traffic fatalities. Right now they're actually having a vigil right at on Shirley Street as they commemorate the loss of some of the young ladies who actually passed away. And so whilst we're celebrating, there is a necessity for sobriety and introspection and sort of reflection to understand that we didn't get here by ourselves. Talk to me.
Yeah, I like the choice of your words. I was actually thinking the same thing. You're in my head. I do believe that these recent mishaps have brought the sobriety to all of us, but now the introspection as to who we really are individually as well as collectively. The Bahamian people want to feel as if we are a people that will survive the spirit of decimation. It almost seems as if that you
they
talk
make
about.
their pronouncements. They say that we are resilient. We
said that, I've said that, but every man has kryptonite. It just comes a time, it comes a period. You're talking about 53 years. I recall when I became 53, I'm now going on 57, my own body began to attack me.
So you're saying a breaking point?
It's a breaking point. You begin to feel everything in your body. Last week I was walking, just normally walking, and all of a sudden my ankle just started to act as if it was sprained. I started to limp. I'm like, what the hell? And so the country is going to experience those same growth pains at this particular time. We have the older generation, as Ian said, that has identified as to a good reason why to celebrate. This young generation is saying, you know what? The pain that they felt, we cannot identify with. They're not going to feel when we begin to feel the sprain in our foot. They're going to say, you know what? Why are y'all limping? Why is the country limping? We know why we're limping.
You didn't go through anything.
They didn't go through anything to understand the limp. All they know, they can see it on television. They can watch Europe. As a matter of fact, even now with Abraham Tory over there in Africa, young people say, you know, why can't we do that in the Bahamas? Why can't we have our own way? Why can't we move the older people out of the way? They're getting in our way, limping. Why can't we just pick up the baton and just sprint? And so this is the conversation that is now in the homes. And if the members of Parliament, recently elected, all 41 of them, do not understand that now is the time to play political doctor and go back into those homes again and listen to the Bahamian people, the next general election 2031 may have a different outcome.
Well, as you're talking about that, members of Parliament has taken on this kind of a strong position, more specifically the Free National Movement, who has identified their shadow ministers.
Yeah.
After 6.5 years, no, I just kidding, after a few months, after a few weeks, they are now deciding to be able to identify those particular persons. Michael Pintard, and his particular capacity, has identified a great deal of persons. Let me see if I can be able to pull up this list for you to let you know exactly what's what, so we can be able to talk about that. Now, I know that the Free National Movement doesn't necessarily want to be in there, but once you make the news, we're going to talk about it, so we can be able to identify that. Michael Pintard, Free National Movement leader, Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Shannon Cartwright, Free National Movement Deputy Leader, Shadow Minister for Education, Technical Vocation Training, Dwayne Sands, Chairman of the organization, Shadow Minister for Health and Wellness. You could be able to see that also. Here we go. Hold on, I think I got a thing right. So it said Mr. Shafant Roll, who's the Secretary General, Shadow Secretariat General for the Free National Movement, Shadow Minister for Culture and Arts and Heritage, Kwesi Thompson, Member of Parliament, Shadow Minister for Finance, Shadow Minister for Innovation, National Development, Adrian White, MP, Shadow Minister for Housing and Land Reform. Also, Shadow Minister for Works and Family Island Affairs, Andre Rollins. Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs. Shadow Minister for Energy and Utilities, Michael Barnett, who's also the Member of Parliament for Kalani, Shadow Minister for Legal Affairs, and Shadow Minister for Labor and Public Services and National Insurance. Lincoln Deal II, Shadow Minister for Youth and Sports, Shadow Minister for Urban Renewal and Community Relations. J. Leo Ferguson, MP, Shadow Minister for Agriculture and Marine Resources. Frazette Gibson, Shadow Minister for Transport, Shadow Minister for the Ministry of Grand Bahama. Senator, the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson, Shadow Minister for National Security, Senator the Honorable Arinthia Komalafe, Shadow Minister for Economic Affairs, Shadow Minister for Social Services, and Senator the Honorable Trevor Johnson, Shadow Minister for Environment and Natural Resources. Last but definitely not least, Senator Honorable Ulrich Rick Fox, Shadow Minister for Tourism, here in the Bahamas. The Free National Movement has taken on this kind of a course to be able to identify their particular persons. It's peculiar that we don't see the duality of ministries when it comes to the deputy leader and the chairman, but other persons are now given more responsibilities to be able to perform in those particular steads. I looked at this today, I talked about it today, and I wondered to myself whether or not this is sort of the winding up.
The winding up?
I just wanted, I looked at that.
I just like when God do that.
Right? God mischievously need to get his act together, right? So I looked at this and I asked myself whether or not this was a winding up as it relates to Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright.
You got to make it plain, Howard. This is 53 years we're talking about.
No, I'm asking, I don't
winding
know.
up?
I'm asking whether or not the Free National Movement has identified to be able to assist Dwayne Sands and Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright with this sort of a packing up and helping them to move off the scene from a political standpoint. As I see this, because we can see those particular persons with dual carriages and responsibilities to be able to do various things in the House of Assembly. And you know what's peculiar for me also, we didn't talk about this, the paper spoke significantly about this today. And you see me getting comfortable, I got to calm down. The paper spoke specifically about this today and spoke to the fact that the Prime Minister had a conversation with Michael Pintard, who asked for an allowance for the member with responsibility for business in the House of Assembly, more specifically, Adrian White. And so when the Prime Minister indicated that he would make the consideration, the Prime Minister not only considered for that particular member, the consideration was widespread.
Everybody.
And this is where we started to actually have this kind of a conversation with the increase of these various allowances. And now all of a sudden, Michael Pintard said, well, listen, my people have issues and they got this and they got that. If it's good for Peter, it must be good for Paul. There needs to be a sense of consistency when we look at these particular things. I'm looking at the Free National Movement, and I don't know whether or not this kind of an elusive nature as it relates to their political approach is something that they want to be able to try to tackle and keep us on our guards, or whether or not they're just delusional in their approach of how they're dealing with politics at this time.
First of all, the idea of a shadow government from an oppositional force is nothing new. Let's just make that clear, okay? We understood that even in the Coalition of Independence, there was a shadow government or shadow ministers that were appointed even in the last election.
Yeah, they still exist.
Watch what happens.
I think the COI would have been preferably first before the FNM now.
In this particular
arena.
In this particular last electoral cycle. Okay, now watch what I'm saying to you. In 2021, when the COI was birthed and competed for the House of Assembly, the COI did extremely well in having only fell short of, I think, 2 to 3 seats to vie in that election. They did extremely well in recruitment.
With their ratified candidates?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, 1 or 2 persons stepped back and they was able to
follow me.
Rally it up.
After the election defeat, scattered. Everyone scattered. Those faces that we saw in 2021, we only saw a few of them in 2026. Let's be clear.
Hold that thought.
Hold the thought.
Hold the thought.
Hold the thought. I'm holding.
I know you're going in there now.
These particular things and dive into it. Let's take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be right back after this.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on The Rundown. So grateful to be with you, being able to jam, having a great conversation. I'm here with none other than Ian Munnings, being able to talk about a great deal of things. Garth got his the ball rolling just now, and just being able to talk about these things. Garth Maynard is with us right now, just being able to do these things.
Well, like I said,
Roseboro.
we saw after 2021 a scattering of the COI, even though they had even then shadow ministers. For 2026 election, they also had shadow ministers. The Free National Movement mentioned shadow ministers. Now the election is over, the Free National Movement has now reassigned shadow ministers in the shadow of the Sunshine government, which will be now the Progressive Liberal Party. They're in the Sunshine.
Right.
Okay, good. This is an attempt to keep the fold together. Do not allow the sheep to scatter. But as you do that, you now have to look at who is the shepherd. Has the shepherd changed? The shepherd has lost sheep after sheep after sheep.
99.
Okay?
He lost the 99 and kept the 1.
3 times he went out to look for those sheep, and he lost the sheep.
That's not the principle of a shepherd.
No, I'm just telling you what I'm saying to you.
Y'all want to tie this right in now.
But the sheep now, the little herd that's left, you got to keep that little herd together.
Of course.
Because in your mind, if you can stay relevant, then you can remain the shepherd. Look at what the shepherd does. The shepherd says, you know what? I'm going to focus only on the prime minister. What are you trying to tell me? I'm only going to focus on leadership. That's it. I don't want no other headache, no other problem.
Maybe trying to be able to duplicate or project the exact same position, the prime minister not necessarily having a portfolio.
Correct. And now what else do you do? The person who is most vocal in your flock, Dr. Andre Rollins, you assign him only a portion of the pie chart to deal with. In other words, mind your own business. Don't be looking at the whole pie. You just mind your slice. This is a power play, and it is a very, very wise move. And I say, my God, I got to give him a little kudos for that. It's a good move. I say I like the move. It's a good move. And keep the team together. You are a Michael Jordan.
Andre Rollins is the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Energy, Utilities, and Aviation.
Okay, so that's Fred Mitchell.
Fred Mitchell.
And Jobert Colby. You got 2 big guns you got to watch. And stay busy and be busy with them. Stay out of the other shadow minister's business. In other words, now I can focus on leadership only and managing all the tentacles of our party. Michael Pintard is showing every intention to remain as the leader of the Free National Movement. Fight me.
I don't see it like that.
You don't have to. You can fight me.
I don't see this like this.
Go ahead and fight me.
I see this as a lazy approach to leadership. I also see it as the necessity for being able to put people just for the purposes of social perception. That's it. This is only for social perception. When we identify these things, we can see, me, Howard Grant, I can see that there wasn't much effort into this. I also see, not as you have put it, where there's a duplication from Michael Pintotte to be able to mask or mimic what our Prime Minister is doing in terms of not taking on portfolio. I think that he wants to be able to ensure that he's freed up, that after the post-mortem, if they make a decision, that he could be able to genuflect, bow out, say thank you so much, and keep moving. I think that that is what I'm seeing here. I also believe that he has packed the bag for Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright. I know y'all don't like me to talk like this, but I don't see things like how...
I can say this, Howard.
I just don't see it like that.
You don't have to.
53 years coming up as the Bahamas is celebrating our independence, right? We're looking at the Bahamas as a whole, and we're seeing a third party emerge when a former leader would have made mention that there will be no such thing as a third party within our country. We are seeing a third party had 17,000 persons go to the poll and vote for them. We're looking at the country itself, and my question I'm asking you now, Howard and Garth, is this a message to the Bahamian people are saying to whomever in charge, we're looking for a government that we can believe in again. We want to believe. We want to believe what you say to me. I want to believe that prosperity is on the rise. I want to believe that everything that you have put in your mandate, that it will come to pass. We hear all of the circumstances in regards to, you're saying that the hospitals are in a displace. We're seeing the energy situation going on. And the people are asking these questions because they said, okay, we want an opportunity now to say that we're going to carve a little space that is our space. This is what they say. We want to believe again.
For me...
Can the F&M make them believe again?
For me, Hubert Alexander Ingram has set the bar so high for the organization, in the organization, that there was a specific caliber of person that can get through the door. Not any and every, there were people for years asking Hubert Ingram for an opportunity to run.
Okay.
And he said, yeah,
No.
you're good right where you are. That was the language that they used. I wouldn't call people name on the people TV, but you know I know these people business, not in a bad way. Let's just be very clear.
You think that's the only party that does that?
I know, but no else. I only know what the people tell me, the horse mouth. This wasn't a fly or a horse mouth.
All the parties.
This was the horse mouth that said to me. That said to me.
Okay. Let me fix it then.
No,
hold on, man. It's your show, but let me ask you a question then.
Okay, go ahead.
Wasn't Hubert Alexander Ingram a part of the Progressive Labour Party?
Of course he was.
Wasn't he under the shadow of Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinlin?
Of course he was.
So where the hell do you think he learned that from?
Okay, but that ain't my point. My point to you is that persons were staved off and kept in a specific position for a very long time.
Okay, I got you.
That's all I say.
There was a famine. They
the
were held up.
organization had such a high bar. For you to be able to get through that, you knew you had to go to school, you had 6 PhD, you had to have articulate, you had to be well-rounded and under the leadership to be able to get an opportunity to shine at the forefront. It was a proud moment to be identified by the Free National Movement. Okay? I am saying to you, now that bar has been eroded, eradicated, swept up, and done away with entirely.
How you figure that?
What do you mean, how you figure that?
You're trying to admit people who ran in the last election, like, they learned people.
We're not dismissing those particular persons who would have elevated by themselves.
Okay.
The organization has not, and we're not just talking about frontline persons, we're talking about the collective who move behind the shadows, behind the curtains that move the organization. These are not the same caliber of persons. Now, we're not insulting these particular persons, but they are not going to the level of scrutiny that existed before. What I'm seeing here is smoke and mirrors and a lack of vision. You're going to fight me, and they're going to fight me, and it's okay.
Yeah.
This is smoke and mirrors and a lack of vision. The only thing that the Free National Movement should be doing at this time is being able to break down to build back up. Your transmission gone, you then have to figure out the diagnostics. You got to break this thing down, take your time out, put everything in place, and bring it back together again so you can see movement. This sort of a just, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, is smoke and mirrors to keep yourself active in the minds of the people, but not necessarily being able to see mobility in the organization. This stagnation will happen if you don't get yourself prepared to move where you're supposed to move.
The truth of the matter, God, is we've been witnessing a big party present itself to the Bahamian people once again
Major
under
party.
different leadership, a major party.
Yeah, new leadership, yeah.
New leadership. We call it new leadership because the things that we were seeing taking place in the Free National Movement, it was not, it didn't even resemble in no form and no fashion the FNM that the Bahamas once knew.
No.
It wasn't.
And no, see,
It just wasn't.
Listen,
It just
don't
wasn't.
skip over what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it just wasn't.
They just have to resonate. This FNM, this last dispensation of members, even though they brought some persons back, did not reflect in no semblance, in no way, in the memory of those who are familiar with the organization, infatuated with the organization, supported the organization. This reflected in no way an organization that they supported in years past.
Think about this, Howard. We have seen, we know the nature of the FNM in regards to things that prior that we would have witnessed them do. We're looking at the COI and say that financially we can say that the COI was not a financial party, hypothetically speaking, right?
I like where you're going.
We can say that, right?
I like it. I like it.
We can look at the COI and say that, well, the COI didn't do as much groundwork, door to door, man to man, woman to woman, child to child. You can say that. You can see that, right? They didn't do that. You agree?
I'm listening, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with you.
This particular crew of persons created a space that they call what we now look on Facebook and say is alive.
Okay.
We're seeing the people charm into alive. Whether it's before we just want to see what the person's going to be saying or whatever gossip is going to run. The reality of it is that you had candidates who actually ran in those positions and got some 600 votes. 600 Bahamians come out and vote for you? If 600 Bahamians come out and vote for you without you going on the ground, without you petitioning, without you doing all, it sends a message.
There's a couple of things that happen here. The COI needed more science. Okay, that's it. Lincoln Bean, I'm sorry, had the science down pack in terms of how to be able to attract people. But his members needed more science in terms of how to approach them, how to be able to collect the data, the information, how to be able to collect their position. That may have taken finances, it may have taken time. Whatever it took, they didn't have that, they didn't have the time. They worked at it, they just didn't have it yet. If they remain consistent, I said this to you, Garth, in 2017, they was able to get 300, right? In 2021, let's take Lincoln Bain. In 2017, he was able to get 300 votes in his constituency in Pinewood. In 2021, he was able to get 600 votes, which is double the number of votes that he would have gotten. In 2026, he got double the amount of votes that he got in 1,200. I told you that. So in the event that he stays steadfast, he stays committed, he continues to grow, you would be able to see him win that in the next go-round. I guarantee you. Because he's able to double it, duplicate it by 100% every single time he goes back in the constituency of Pinewood. So he will be able to double that. However, that needs to be duplicated throughout the length and breadth of the organization. It can't be hoarded by a one man. It needs to be to spread out throughout the organization. And how do you do that? You have to train them, you have to teach them, you have to show them, and you have to make them to understand these particular things. The COI has the capability of doing a great deal, even though some people call it a coalition of idiots. These idiots, quote unquote,
want some
was
spaces.
able to do miraculous deeds in this country. I might as well tell you the truth. These quote-unquote idiots were able to do what the established
some conversation.
I gotta take a quick break. Quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be right back after this. Right.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars, battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add Life Vest for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you. I'm here with none other than Ian Munnings and Garth Maynard Roseborough being able to jam with us and have a good conversation. We're talking now. When we left off, I said to you, for the amount of persons that continue to be able to take the acronym COI and be able to manipulate it as you desire, calling the organization, I thought that it was absolutely unparliamentary, especially after we would have seen Hiram Lewis step into a particular position to be able to call the COI Coalition of Idiots. I thought they would at least drop the idiot after there was some formality in Hiram Lewis being able to step over that. That didn't happen. The Coalition of Idiots, quote unquote, based upon what you say, did better than the established. The organization that is formidable, the organization that has had victory, that understands, that was able to pull it close to its bosom. The organization that has been able to do all this in this country and continue to be able to champion certain causes and ideas in this particular country, you did not do as well as you thought you would have done, and you have been 1 step behind, maybe even 2, behind the COI from the established position. You don't want to hear this, and it's a difficult thing to hear. Even now, this would have been almost a year and some after the coalition would have identified their shadow ministers and talked to us when it was over in Fusion long time. You are now doing that. This is an amazing thing that we're seeing, that the Free National Movement, an established organization, has been able to take their time and walk steps behind who you all identify as a coalition of idiots. What does that say? Talk to me, Ian.
I can tell you this, Howard. Looking at the position of Lincoln Bain and his personnel around him, we've seen him evolve. I call the word evolve. He's evolved from 300 to 600 to now over 1,200. We are seeing persons like Maria Daxon in Bamboo Town. Some 700 persons came and voted for her. She didn't go door to door. Her presence was felt on a cell phone. They looked at her and they compare her to say that she is the barking dog. She is the one who is going to sound the alarm for the COI. And so persons gravitated to them, stating that what they promised. They say that these are the conditions that the people are feeling. These are the things that are taking place within our country. And given the opportunity, they would do something great. And the fact that they would have had hundreds of Bahamians, thousands of Bahamians, to go to the polls and say, you know what? We've been doing the same thing over and over. We want a different response. And so we're going to go with the COI because we want an opportunity to do what they say they're going to do. What do we have to lose? This is what took place during that era. So we're looking now at the government that is current, and we're saying progress is here. We're looking at the Free National Movement, and they're still trying to find their footing. The only thing I see that they are continuously preaching on is who is member number one.
Politician number
Who's
one.
politician number one? This is what they're saying. They're not bringing the things that the Bahamian people would like for them to bring forward. If we have a health crisis, we want you to say we have a health crisis. If we have a problem with electricity, we want you to say we have a problem with electricity. We want you to be able to to come to the Bahamian public and say, hey, this is what you're experiencing, this is what we are saying, and this is what we ought to do.
I don't think
we haven't seen it. We have not seen it during the whole period of Michael Pintard's campaign. I think we saw more Mr. Michael C. Pintard representing himself to say that I'm a family man, I'm a father, this is my mother. We have seen that, but we haven't seen all of those other things.
After 2027, October, whenever they decide to be able to do their next convention, I believe that whoever is the person that's going to be identified for leadership, he or she has their hands full, and they must kind of hurry up, and try to be able to mend those bridges, those ills, those wounds, those gaps that has been left behind by this kind of a tunnel vision to be able to eradicate Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. It seems like the organization has been steadfast on being able to do that. Now that Minnis is gone, now that he's off the scene, it's like, okay, what do we do next? Without being able to focus on the fact that we have a responsibility to the Bahamian people and being able to cast the vision and take steady steps and approaches to being able to present that and make it a reality. We don't see that in the organization. We don't see that. And that's a difficult thing to be able to have a conversation about. As we look now and we start to talk about these particular things, and we're talking about the COI, look how we've given so much prominence to the COI, an organization that we've dismissed. An organization that across social media, persons who are savvy from a political standpoint has said they will get no seats. They have done tremendous. And they have planted a seed in the minds and hearts of the Bahamian people. I am a firm believer, especially as a former member of the organization, I am a firm believer that if the DNA had stuck with it, they would have been able to enjoy this level of success in due time and due season. Though they did good in one particular season and they didn't do as well as they should have done when it came to the next season, they weren't pushing, they weren't serious, they weren't focused, they weren't committed, they weren't at the forefront. Man, Lincoln Bain was in our face every time he had a chance.
I like when it goes there.
Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. You spoke about the caliber of the Free National Movement in this past election as not being what you are
unfamiliar.
accustomed. Okay,
it's unfamiliar.
Okay, good. The caliber of the COI would also be unfamiliar.
It's budding.
Okay, it's budding. You say, oh, you say we're budding.
I'm better than you think I am, you know, sir.
No, I'm getting somewhere. The Free National Movement lacked science in this last election.
No, they've rejected science.
Oh, they rejected science.
Because they had it before.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
Let's get somewhere.
But the COI
But they had it before under different leadership.
They have not acquired it.
The COI has not acquired science.
No.
So,
political science in terms of application to understand how to be able to execute accordingly.
So unfamiliar and budding, right? Rejecting science and what?
They haven't acquired.
Not acquiring science.
Yeah, they haven't acquired it just yet.
So what it boils down to, if I listen to you without going any further, is leadership.
Lack of experience.
Because the COI wasn't evident to me in terms of candidates for the entire time. Many of the candidates, I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
And we thought they would do good. You can't deny that Dr. MacGyver.
We know her.
Yeah, of course.
We know Lincoln.
Okay.
We know Maria Jackson.
Okay.
Many of the others, we don't know them.
Okay. We know.
Who's we? You keep talking about we. We don't know them.
No, Graham Weatherford.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Okay,
Graham.
we know Graham. Go ahead then. You win that one. Go, keep going. Let me hear this. Since you're so smart.
You know Charlotte too, right?
Charlotte Green.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
keep
you know
going.
Charlotte Green.
I want 10. They say I want 12 disciples when I get them. Give me 12. No, oh, you can't. Okay, you can't. Okay, oh, you can't.
Michael.
When it came to the Free National Movement.
I think I saw something on social media when she did the Buster rap, and that appealed to me when she did that.
I just say it's hard to find 12 disciples. Imagine what Jesus had to go through walking by the Sea of Galilee. He said, I need 12. And that's what I said. The F&M, many of us can't name 12 of them either. We know like Brian Brown, but that's my cousin. Hold on, I just say it.
Name all.
That's you. I think we. Now it's we. You know you. Okay. Now it's we. We don't know them. So when it came down to the decision making, it was a style of leadership where Lincoln Bain cast himself as an individual who was fighting for the small man.
He'll play it.
And many people felt like, you know what? He's speaking to us. Me. I with him because he for me. That's it. Michael C. Pintard
is demographic.
Michael C. Pintard was like, you know what? The aristocratic F&M that we are. That we are going to have.
No.
Okay.
No.
Fix it then. Let me hear this.
No.
What happened?
the Free National Movement actually appeal and appease to that aristocrat caliber of individuals.
But that's what I just said.
They teetered on the edge.
That's what I said.
They became unfamiliar to those particular persons, and no one knew where to place them, even right now.
That's what I'm saying. But the masses are the people in the grassroots.
Adrian,
But this what I say. The masses is the grassroots.
Though Adrian would have found himself victorious in the constituency of St. Anne's,
That don't count.
the people, let me
That
say,
don't count.
But you're going to fight me.
I can fight you, but that don't count.
No, but let me say it.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me say it.
Go ahead.
The people in the constituency said his actions were unfamiliar and they weren't statesman-like as they were used to from those particular persons. They still voted for him,
Okay.
but they said that this was unfamiliar.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's unfamiliar if they voted
I
for
am
you.
simply saying to you, you indicated that this was aristocrats and they were continuing to be able
No,
to...
I said the aristocratic leadership of Michael C. Pinto, meaning that he had no familiarity with the common man. And what the Progressive Liberal Party did was they wooed the common man who wasn't angry as those who followed Lincoln made and say, you know what, let's party, let's have a good time. Listen, we got food, we got drinks, we got chicken, we got pork. Listen, you want to fly with us over to Grand Bahama, you want to fly with us to Long Island? Come go with us, man. We talking about contracts, we talking about jobs, we talking about future, we talking about AI, we talking about Sabas, we talking about go down over there on Farrington Road, see what he's doing. Don't you see progress is on its way? My God, it's going to bust loose in a minute. This is the talk of the Progressive Liberal Party.
May 12th
The
is
Free
gone.
National Movement was like, in my eyes, where's the money? We need some money. We need to
They
find
lacked
some
that.
money.
They saw that.
We could see that they was broke.
They lacked that.
Lincoln Bain was broke, but Lincoln Bain had message.
Listen.
Lincoln Bain had tenacity. Lincoln Bain had consistency. Lincoln Bain didn't sleep. Every Sunday, 5 o'clock, he on the air.
Alive. You got alive.
They forgot their creativity.
They never had none. They never had that. No, that's a lie.
Hold on, this is
That's
exactly
a
what you're
lie.
saying.
That's a lie.
Okay.
They never had
the
none.
PLP got in.
They were creative.
The PLP got in from creativity.
Yes, sir. Lincoln Bain.
Acquired money over the years.
Okay, man, talk to me.
Okay?
You're talking.
So when the Free National Movement came in, they came in with money.
Yeah, that's all they needed at that time.
They came in
that
with
time,
money.
yeah.
They do not know how to perform without the support of financial endowment. That's what you're saying to me.
Yes, sir. You want me to come off the set and preach it outside and come back in?
The question.
So you're saying to me, because they did not have the financial backing, they did not know how to perform at all.
Okay, let me break it down. I don't want to get the Bahamas in trouble.
That's what you see. That's what you saw.
That's what you're saying. That's what I saw.
See, this is what we saw.
So watch what I said.
We saw that.
We going into year 53, yes?
Yes, 53 years.
When we looked at the 80s when I was in high school,
But this is a part of our resilience, sir.
let me tell you what I saw. As a young man in school, I in school in grade 8 and 9. The girls in my class, as fine as hell, class 86, we just had a little celebration this weekend, they don't pay no attention to us. The fellas was riding Ninja motorbike, 600,
300 ZX.
Kawasaki 1000,
Mustang.
300 ZX,
And Bronco.
Mustang, Bronco, the whole 9 yards,
Laurel.
Corvette,
Laurel.
Laurel, Cedric, all these things they riding nice. Big gold chain like Mr. T. 10,000 gold chain around their neck. They ain't paying no attention to us, man.
Yeah.
I talking with Jesus and the soon coming, and they talking about they like the fellow over there.
Because they saw progress.
If you ain't wear no Lee jeans and them type of things, you wasn't saying nothing. You had to wear Clark shoe,
The young
diamond
ladies,
socks.
the young ladies advanced quicker than the young
This
men.
man from
And they
Freeport.
saw prosperity.
You get me excited now. This man from Freeport, he know with style. Listen to me. This is a Cadillac man, by the way, if you want me to tell you that. What I'm saying is that by the time 1992 rolled around, for those who did not have that luxury to have those things, the satellite dish bigger than your house, they say, you know what? This party came out in 1992 with what?
Money.
Oh,
Full backing.
Access.
Full backing.
Access. That's all they simply saying, Howard Grant. If you don't have the access, you need what? Creativity.
Yeah, you're plenty creative.
That's all they saying to you. Free National Movement was birthed with access, not creativity.
And so when they snatched the access, we saw
Crumbling.
that kind of a crumbling.
We saw the crumbling.
The organization.
Now you just define it scientifically.
So
You're a
that's just
scientist.
what it is. I want to thank you guys for being able to
finished?
tune in with us. That's the show, man.
Are you ready?
No. Not in the show. One more. We got one more segment. I want to thank you guys for being able to do this. I think we've talked about the Free National Movement as long as we can, eh?
Please.
But I want to talk about the increase.
Okay,
That's
well,
what I
let's
want to talk about when we come back. Right.
Let me take this quick break. When we get back, we can talk about the increase, and then we can be able to be out of here. Quick break, guys. Gonna be right back after this.
Oh, you're still here?
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
Where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
You always see man, the one and only, and I want you all to tune into Entertainment Fridays on Access Now every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Who knows? Your favorite Bahamian artist might end up showing their face. But you gotta watch to find out.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SPDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SPDC, Bahamas.
Thanks so much for staying with us, guys. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant, grateful to be with you. Always happy to be able to jam with you. Beautiful Wednesday roundtable conversation, having a good conversation with my good friend Ian, and Garth is here just being able to talk me tired about the Free National Movement and its inception. But I think for the very first time, there has been, in my eyes, a silver lining for the confusion that I believe that we've witnessed, all of us who are observers from a political standpoint, from this sort of a distant and this kind of despondent organization that we would have seen over the past some 6 years and some, I think we could be able to surmise what that is. What we've come to the conclusion for this evening is that it is as a result of lack of funds, because they've always had the backing. And when there's no backing, the creativity is distant. That doesn't necessarily happen with everyone else. We've seen creativity kick in significantly when the PLP's back is against the wall. The COI has shown us their creativity when their back was against the wall. Other fringe organizations have come in and been creative in all aspects because their backs was against the wall. They knew that they did not have the finances. But the Free National Movement, for somehow, froze up. Talk to me about that, and let's go on to the second segment.
Well, the most creative.
But let me tell you what happens when you're having a battle of the finances. When you cannot find creativity, you know you need the money, you cannot find the money, you look at the opponent, and you wonder how the hell they get that money. So there's one word that surfaces every time.
Corruption.
Oh, Jesus, man, Howard is a smart host.
Corruption.
Well, I train you over school you went to because you're smart.
You train me.
This is how that works.
Corruption.
And you'll hear corruption.
That's what they've
in
been,
the outcry.
been screaming corruption.
Okay.
And they've been alleging corruption. And when the former leadership indicate that, listen, watch out, no one can steal this, they came back, undermined his position, and said, this is corruption. They've gone in the House of Assembly and insinuated relentlessly that there is something afoot here, this must be corruption. I was absolutely exhausted today because anyone who ever run a campaign know you got to pay for the SDs, you got to put gas in people's car, you got to pay for phone card because you need communication, you need this, you need the tents, you got to pay for that. Somebody need to eat breakfast, lunch, you got to pay for ice, you got to pay for these particular things. You need to put some money in the people. $30,000 ain't never been no money, not in this country, never.
Can't do it.
And you keep running after this allegation and speculation about this. I told the people I walked major campaigns before, and $30,000 ain't never been no money. But today, you can plant a seed in the Bahamian people's head, distract from the progression and growth of the country, simply so you could be identified in the limelight to give us this kind of... Anyway, it's an exhausting experience. Gentlemen, say what you got to say. I can't deal with this.
I opened the door.
Truth of the matter is this, is that the Bahamian people are looking for an opportunity. They're looking for a space that they can call their own.
I spent more than $30,000, what I did not have with the DNA.
Well, before we...
In politics, $30,000 isn't any money.
Well, before we wrap up...
There's a lot of... No campaign finance reform, no freedom of information.
There is a lot of things that go along with that political arena. You have to think about persons that calling you for various different reasons. There's a lot of things that goes on.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you also very kindly for being able to be here with me tonight. The show ran very quickly. You got me hype at the end, and I didn't say these things, but it's very important that we understand many persons just walk into the booth and put an X. But there's a great deal of us, especially those men that continue to talk, that understand the inner workings of what campaigns require. And I don't see nothing afoot here. And I feel like I'm leaning with the chairman of the organization, Fred Mitchell, by being able to say that this just may be
a nothing burger.
A nothing burger. And that does it for us here at The Rundown, guys. Be sure that you stay locked into ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. is the final newscast of the country with the latest in news and information from Corvell Pyfrom. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks so much for joining us.
We play just like your kids.